What's up, guys? Next up is Hound. Here's his instruction booklet. Here's the packaging. The funniest thing about Hound is if you look, we're right there, that's not Hound's head. That's actually a Cybertron Hotshot's head. So maybe they're hinting at a retool, but that is the funniest thing I saw when these guys were announced all the way back in the summer of 2018. Same stuff all around. And just same stuff as Skytread's box, only an Autobot symbol instead of Decepticon. Here's Hound. It's nice to get another Hound figure, because freaking the last one was a Combiner Wars, which was meh. And then before that, the last deluxe scale one we had before him was this guy. Good old Universe 2008 Hound. Which sounds like a title you win in a bodybuilding federation. Mr. Universe 2008 is Hound. Where you can kind of see these toys are going for two different aesthetics for Hound. Oh, and I forgot to I forgot to fix the lighting issue. Oh well. Yeah, this guy's a brighter green. This guy's more subdued. This guy has more wear and tear on him. I've seen people compare it to two different sides of Hound's personality, and I can see that. The 2008 one's more cheerful, because apparently part of Hound's character is he wants to be human or something. Which, okay, we're a terrible race. I don't know why you'd want to be like us. We have people like Donald Trump. I'm messing around with something behind. I'm messing around with the MicroMaster because it still confuses me how it's supposed to work. Whatever. Just leave them in tank mode. I'm wasting frickin' time. I'm wasting frickin' time. I literally. Yay, filler! So, detail-wise, move Mr. 2008 out of the way. You got stars on his shoulders, some like almost bronze detailing going all throughout the toy. Got some scraping, some detail work on his shins, a little bit on his front grill there. Loving the head sculpt. It's definitely Hound, but I'm glad unfortunately they had to have the panel back there, but I'm glad they at least painted his eyes to compensate, because this guy's light piping doesn't really work unless you directly stick his eyes in front of a light. Or, yeah. Obviously he's got his shoulder cannon there, along with his other weapon, which also has an ammo clip, which is not something you see often. Ammo clip. And where's my effect parts? Oh, I'll take the only. I forgot to show this with Skytread, but you do have quite a few hard points on Hound to try and recreate an explosion or something. There's not much friction there, so it just falls off easily. You got 2 on the shoulders, 1 on each shoulder, 1 right there. Anywhere else? Oh, 1 right there. So is he firing a... He's firing his Unibeam! Good old Iron Man. And I think that's it. We can also attach it to his weapon to make it look like he's actively shooting out of his gun. Pew pew, bang bang. There you go. You can also take all these weapons and combine them into like a mega blaster, as it's called. So what you do is you plug these 2 together, and then you plug that together, and that's his mega rifle. And it can be plugged onto either shoulder, although it's kind of like there's not enough room for it. So generally, you could hold it with that hand. He could hold each one if you want to separate them like that. There are many options for weapons for Hound, and I like that. I like options. It gives you a bit more variety of how to play with him. So let's transform. Oh wait, articulation. Head is on a ball joint. I think it's a ball joint. You do get a little forward and backwards. You don't really get much tilting. You get a little bit of tilting, but you do get side to side. Shoulders hinged, and they can go all the way out. They can go butterfly style for transformation. You can go all the way forwards. You do have a mushroom pegged bicep swivel. You have a 90-degree elbow with a wrist swivel, because if your wrists don't transform, they swivel. Hound is the only one in the line at the deluxe class who has a wrist swivel. Yes, he does. He is the only one. The Voyagers have the wrist swivels, unfortunately. The ones with the waist swivels. You have a waist swivel. You have hips, which do have a mushroom peg thigh swivel, although this armor covers it up, so it's not really that noticeable until you move it all the way out. Forwards, backwards, in and out. Do. Beyond 90 degrees at knee bend. You have a foot. You have an inward foot tilt, which is mostly for transformation, which we'll start doing right now. So fold the foot, unpeg that section, spread it all the way out. Fold back his shoulders. Fold that up, and you want to unpeg this black piece, which folds up and actually just pegs in right there. You want to fold that all the way out, or you can start by folding. Well, Hound has clearance issues. I'll just say that Hound has a bit of clearance issues. You can start by folding those up and then fold the arms in. Yeah, rotate them like that. So when these panels eventually slide down, and they will form the sides of the vehicle by just pegging in to where the shoulders were. And then they have a little tab right down there which you can tab the arm into so it's secure. Do the same thing on the other side, fold that down. And actually you can peg it together in the back so it gives you a more solid look. Tab that in, fold the arm in, and then this piece will actually, again, it has tabs right there that will actually go in right there and create a solid looking vehicle. Let me see if I can get this asshole transformed relatively quickly. He's I don't think he's much more complicated. It's just the order of operations kind of confuses me because I don't transform him very much. Do. Okay, might take a couple seconds, but I think I can get there. No. Yeah. Come on, you. I'm doing this off camera. Yay, awkward silences. People... Whoa, shit. I bet... Well... I don't know if it's awkward silence or if it's silence, but... Awkward waiting. Awkward waiting. I've got one leg. I've got most of it done. Just... I'm glad they got rid of the whole... He has seats on his thighs, because... On Earth, I guess that kind of makes sense, because you have to drive people around and pretend like, you know, robots in disguise, but on Cybertron, you don't really need to do that, because everyone's a robot, but they're the two side by side. Vastly different takes. Both Jeeps, vastly different. Although you can see the away one's a little bit longer, which is what she said. And this is his only weapon, because I don't have the Ravage that came with him. Here's his Jeep mode. He definitely hunkers down into a squat little compact Jeep. You can see the star more clearly now, and the Autobot symbol. Unfortunately, his arms are hanging out right down there, but they're not intrusive. They don't get in the way of his rolling. He rolls relatively smoothly. Although it's kind of hilarious. I completely forgot to show this, but you actually do have a foot tilt right there, which looks ridiculous in Jeep mode. His chest kind of mimics his underbelly kind of mimics having seats, in case I guess somebody wants to sit down inside Hound. There we go. Overall, it's fairly solid. I like it. He's got yellow headlights, or yellow details, silver spotlights, all the depictions of like a regular grill. No license plate because it's just transformation hinges right there. And you do have storage for each weapon, which is cool. So the ammo clip has its own unique, well, its own peg, because it doesn't have a peg of its own. So it can rest right there. They even molded a bit of clearance for it, which is nice. And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4. For his I forget. Is it a force field? No. He's the hologram guy, so it's a hologram projector. But you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 different points you can plug it into. I prefer to plug it up here. And then I prefer the sort of rifle to be right next to it. That's like, those are, this is the configuration I use. I don't use the effect piece, but let's pretend that effect piece is there. And I think that's the only hard point actually accessible in Jeep mode besides the one on the front of the bumper. So I guess somebody shot him in his bumper. Or, I don't know, in front of a grenade, maybe? I have no idea what to do with this. It's still cool. I do like Hound. I'm glad he got him out. He got a new toy that wasn't just a repaint. And I'm kind of happy that I hope they do more stuff with this mold, because it's a really good mold. So far, you're kind of hitting out of the park with the Luxus. Like, I'd say that's 2 for 2 so far. We'll see if they can keep it up. Spoiler alert, they can. But until then, thanks for watching, and keep it weird. Bye.